beautiful little girl, it's Mommy. Today's April 28th, 2022. I just wanted to make a video a little bit about who I was. I know my thoughts are a bit jumbled, but there's just things that I would like you to hear, maybe if you want to know someday. So I made a little bit of a list, so bear with me. So growing up, I was really shy growing up, especially around adults. I don't know why, and with kids that I didn't know. I wasn't one to go start a conversation, but when I did make friends, like at school, I was really talkative with my friends, and I did end up having a lot of girlfriends when I was younger, in elementary school, middle school, high school. I had some girlfriends. So I loved my friends. I hated being an only child when I was younger. I'm sorry, baby. So I just always wanted a friend to be with me, like somebody to play with. So when I was younger, I had like a more normal life. My parents were married at the time, and I played with my neighbors. We had little girls in the neighborhood. This was before cell phones. We'd knock on each other's doors, and we were always outside, no matter what the weather was, just like you, in the cold, in the snow, in the rain, in the sun. We were always outside. We would make leaf piles to jump in the leaves. We'd try to build igloos, go sled riding down the hills in our yards in the winter. We would, I saw myself in you when Daddy built a little stone wall in our yard the other day, and you loved it, and you just wanted to climb up on it and keep walking on it. And I used to do that. Me and my friends, and I'll never forget, it was like, I don't know, I was 7, and I remember, I don't know if it was my communion party, I think after my church communion, we were having a big party, and I wrote down me and my friends were going to rock climb on our stone wall. That's what I, wanted me and my friends to do, climb on the little stone wall. I loved doing that, and I loved to climb the little trees that we had in my front yard, and we had a little bit of woods behind our house, so I loved, me and my friends would build like forts, I guess. We'd find sticks or a tree that fell down, and we'd say it was our fort, and we loved being outside, or we'd put a towel over the tree, and we'd play games, and that was the best. And I loved life, and I loved staying outside and out late, and in the summer when I was a kid, I remember being in the driveway playing hopscotch and bouncing a ball on the driveway till late, and my dad was in bed yelling, come in, so I loved that. I loved outside. I loved the smell of fresh air, running around outside barefoot, just like you. You love to take your shoes off. I always loved that too. We never had shoes on outside. We were always barefoot, me and my neighbors, neighborhood friends. When I was 3, I started horseback riding. I think I did it till I was about 6, and then I stopped. I think I used to love falling off the horse for some reason. I thought it was fun, and my mom would yell at me, that's not fun. I thought it was fun. But then I think I got scared when she asked me to ride without a saddle, and it was hard for me. So I think I got a little scared, and I stopped horseback riding. And that's when I went to play soccer, because my neighbor played soccer, so I wanted to play like her. So, that's when I started soccer, and I stuck with hot soccer through high school. I tried softball one season, and I was not good at it. It was awful. I kept missing the ball, and I hated being up there and everybody just watching me on the spot. You know, I was shy and I got really embarrassed. So it was pretty normal as a kid. Me and my parents, we took like one vacation a year. You know, I remember going to North Carolina. My parents got a beach house one year. We went to Disney World one year. I don't remember. We took, I was little. We took a cruise when I was little. I don't really remember that one. And then when I was older, when I was 9, we took another cruise, and that's the one I loved. That's what the vacation I fell in love with, the cruises. So we were pretty normal. And my dad had a boat, and we put it on Lake Zor, and I loved that boat. And we'd go tubing, and I'd have my friends, and we had a great time. Me and my mom never had much of a relationship. My mom didn't really play with me. I remember she just wasn't around much. My dad got out of work at 2, and my grandmother would watch me a lot. And my mom, I think, was working a lot, and when she was around, she would just kind of yell at me. So it was hard. I didn't have a good relationship with her. And then my parents got divorced, and I think my self-esteem plummeted, and I lost some friends. It was weird. I didn't know why I was doing it. I was doing this thing where my friends would be like, hey, you know, I was in middle school, and they'd be like, hey, you know, do you want to come over? Do you want to go to the mall? And I'd be like, oh no, nobody wants me there. Nobody. And they're like, what do you mean? We just asked you to go. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna go. No one wants me there. And I didn't know why I was doing it, and I think it was because my mom kept putting me down. Once my parents got divorced, you know, I saw my dad, you know, once a week and every other weekend, and I was living with my mom, and she just put my self-esteem down, and that's what she told me. You know, your friends don't like you. You know, you're not good enough, or I was not, you know, good enough at anything. I won't say some of the things that she would say to me, but so I lost some friends. They didn't understand why I was acting like that, and I don't think I understood why I was acting like that, but the few good friends that I had did stick around, a few good girlfriends, and I kind of started slipping at soccer at that time. I got benched for a little while, which was unlike me. And then one day it was like I don't know, I guess I got mad, and I kind of started taking out my emotions on the soccer field. And I'll never forget my coach. He was a Jamaican guy. One day he's like, Pel's back, she's back, she's back. And he put me back in and I went from defense to a bench to now I was a forward, and I started playing really good again, and then I was a forward at soccer, and it was just like, I don't know, it was, you know, stress and emotions can really affect you, and I never realized that, and I never really, I guess, believed that, and I guess they really, really do, and they really can. And they can affect your health, obviously, too. And but I was always shy with boys. I was not good at talking to boys. I didn't talk to boys in elementary school or middle school. I had my girlfriends. I was really shy. In elementary school, I always said I wanted to be a teacher when I grew up. And then when I got older, all our friends said, oh, we want to be a teacher when we grew up. I don't know, everybody said that. But then when I got older and I got to high school, me and my best friend, April at the time, we loved to plan and write lists. Like, okay, like let's say we were going on the boat this weekend, like my dad's boat or something. We would say, okay, we're going to wear this outfit. We'd wear like matching outfits, or you know, or how we're gonna do our hair, if we're gonna have a sleepover, what are we gonna do? Like, what's the event? You know, like what are we gonna play? What movie we're gonna watch? And we'd make these lists, and we loved making lists, me and my friend, and planning. We loved that. So that's where my dream for to be a wedding planner came in. I really wanted to be a wedding planner, but I didn't know how you go about that. That's not really, you know, a course, and I didn't really know a company that you can work for, like, to start doing that. So I never got into that, but that was always my dream. I loved taking pictures too, and making photo albums. Just I loved doing that. It saved memories, it's your life, you know. I loved doing that, capturing all the memories and saving them, and I hope you get to look at them and look at all my photo books someday. They're in a big plastic bin here in the attic, so I hope you get to look through those. Every day, I loved life. I really did. Every day was an adventure for me when I was a kid, and even in high school and after high school. Every day I woke up and it was just like an adventure. I was a morning person. I woke up ready to go. What's going to happen today? What adventure are we going to go on? You know, what fun are we going to have? That was me. That was Bella. I loved life. And when I got in high school, I started, and Facebook came and cell phones came, I started tagging this quote, you know, love this crazy life. I loved life. I loved it being an adventure. You know, I loved it. So then, anyways, I finally had my first boyfriend in high school. I played soccer with this girl, and we ended up going on a vacation with her and her family to New Hampshire. Me, my mom, and April went with her mom and her family to New Hampshire to the beach one year, and I kind of, I guess, got a crush on him because I guess I never hung out with boys before. It was just the first boy I like hung out with that wasn't like, you know, in school. Like, even though it was her brother, he was a grade above me in school. But I guess that kind of put a damper on mine and her relationship. I didn't, you know, I thought she'd be happy that we dated, but she kind of got upset about it, which I guess there's a relationship there between siblings that I don't really understand because I didn't grow up with any siblings. But anyways, it was rough at start. I was rough start. I was really shy. I was scared to talk to him. And then he kind of broke up with me and went for this other girl, and I got really hurt. And then we got back together, and he apologized, and then we dated, and he was a nice kid, and that was my first boyfriend. I was 16, and he, you know, was a nice kid and everything, but it was like I had low self-esteem from my mom, and, you know, he made these jokes like I wasn't allowed to talk in front of him and his friends, like, oh, you're gonna embarrass me, and it was stupid. We were kids. Maybe they were joking around. I don't know, like. And if we'd hang out with April and her boyfriend on a double date, like me and April, you know, we weren't allowed to talk to each other. So it was kind of strange. You know, I don't think that was great. Like, they were saying, like, you know, that hurt my self-esteem as well. So I ended up breaking up with him, not in the best way. We won't get into all of that. And, long story short, I didn't really, I guess, know what a good relationship is, and I hope you're able to see that somewhere, a good relationship, maybe with your Aunt Kat, you know, what it is to have a good relationship where both partners contribute to the relationship, and you're happy and you love each other. You know, it's hard, you're gonna have rough days, but I hope you can see that, as I had a hard time with that, you know, dating the right person. And I guess I didn't, you know, ever really have a normal relationship, you know. So I did college for a year. Me and my mom had our disagreements, and the week I graduated college, you know, we never got along. She just, you know, the week I graduated high school, she at 17, she tossed me out. So that was kind of hard. That was really hard. We're not going to get into that big long story today, but I was always a hard worker because I needed to support myself, but I was also really, really stressed out all the time about not having enough money to pay my bills and supporting myself and just feeling lost and kind of abandoned. And I hope you never feel like that, and I'm doing everything in my power to try to make sure that you never feel that way. I hope I love you so, so much, and I never want you to feel that way. But I put myself through a year of college at Central Connecticut State University, and I went for general business because I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I always liked business or wanted to have my own business or be a wedding planner or whatever, so that's what I went for. And I worked like 2 jobs while I was there. At Mount Southington and at Erie in the mall. At Mount Southington, snowboarding. I love to snowboard. That was a lot of fun. Would have friends come up on the weekend when I worked there, so that was the fun working there. I did ticket sales. But after a year of college, I had to stop because I pretty much needed to work full time so I could afford a car and, a place to live. So that's what I did. So I only did a year of college, but I just want you to know I'm not 100% like you need to go to college. I want you to do what you want to do, and I know today's world is set around